Conversation tonight with nominated Senator Gloria Orwoba. It has been a busy week for her, and yes, here to get some truth and just set the record straight as far as this particular expulsion is concerned, and the issue to do with labor migration that seemed to be costing her her job. She'll be telling us exactly what that means and whether that is the reason she's actually on the receiving end as far as these issues are concerned. Thank you so much, Senator, for making time.
Asante for having me.
Let me start with this one. Let's start with 3 years into office, or thereabout, close to 3 years into office. You've been very vocal for nominated senator, I must say. Do you think that the efforts that you've put in as a nominated senator to some extent are being affected by this particular issue?
First of all, yes, it's been about 3 years. And I like that you say that I've been very vocal and active for a nominated senator, because there's an expectation that nominated senators should sit back and be flower girls. Nominated senators who are specially elected senators have the same exact role and should have the same capacity as those who've been elected through the ballot. In these 3 years, I can tell you I've done a lot, and I have achieved so much that is always watered down. I have 6 bills at the floor of the House, and from those 6 bills, one was shot down. I lost by 2 votes, the Konza Technopolis bill, and it was tactically shot down by the men, because then it was picked up by KJ in the National Assembly and immediately passed, and he's been celebrating that that was his bill, that was my bill. I have currently at the floor of the House the sanitary pads, free sanitary pads bill, which is to ensure that all girls in school and all women in prison get free sanitary towels. We have come as far as the second reading, and actually we are just waiting to vote for it. Okay. So even with the confusion and the chaos, I still remain passionate about that. And I do hope that my colleagues at the Senate pass it. I need 24 votes. I hope it passes. Okay. The data protection bill, that is my bill. I have the Swahili for immigrants bill. I have 6 bills. My legislative agenda has been very, very active. I have brought a lot of statements at the floor of the House oversighting this government. I have brought statements on issues to deal with women, issues to deal with gender-based violence, femicide. I think I'm one of the senators, and actually no, even one of the members of parliament in both houses who has had the highest number of statements with issues to deal with women. So all the way from Linda Mama and why it's not working, to women who have been abused, nothing is being done, as late as the lady who got dragged in the bus going to Mombasa. So, I mean, my work, if anyone has been keen to follow, my work has been completely passionate about legislative agenda. Okay. Just so you know, there are 3 terms, we call them ranking members, members who have been there for 3 terms, that is 15 years. From my party, who have never legislated, they don't have 1 bill all these 15 years. They've never brought a statement at the floor of the House. They've never, you know, in terms of oversight, even raised the question to cabinet secretaries. So if you were to do a compare and contrast, some of the members who are right now pushing to have me removed do not have any legislative agenda. Do you believe that they believe you are a threat to them? Definitely, definitely. Anybody who is firm and who has some level of self-actualization is a threat to people who don't know what they went to do in parliament. Okay. Is also a threat to people who just went to collect a salary, because they want you to keep quiet and also just collect your salary like them. But I didn't go to parliament to make money. I went there to make changes. You believe this is a target? You're being targeted? You know, maybe if you rephrase that question and ask me, when did the rain start beating me? I'll tell you, after fighting internally and trying to raise awareness about our labor export program of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance and how it has become a scam, and internally trying to even talk to the president to tell him to have a look at our cabinet secretary for labor and find out what's really going on there. When I realized nothing internally is moving, and some of the people that had been conned are people who I delivered to the program personally, I can tell you The moment I decided to draft a statement to take to the floor of the House and make this thing public, I knew my job is gone. I knew I had fired myself.
When exactly was that?
I don't have the exact dates, but it should be about now, maybe 2 months. Maybe a month and a little bit over a month.
What was the conviction behind that you're going to table a statement that is going to cost you your job and still went ahead and did it?
I can tell you this, first of all. I am not one to be bought. And I am not one to be coerced into corrupt dealings. And these people, 90 plus of them, who were swindled out of their money, which to other people, 15,000 doesn't seem like much. But to these people, who some of them I delivered to this program, some of them had never even held 15,000 in total in their hands. Their entire 30-something years of living. So some of these people, I have been to their homes. I know that they could not afford it. Some of them begged me to pay for them, and I refused because I said, you must feel the pinch of trying to get yourself a job so that you can take care of that job once you get it. So everybody worked so hard, all those 90 plus people who I personally engaged and delivered to a government sponsored or a government program. When I was being asked, or the way it was being communicated to me in the silence or in the form of, you know, let this thing go, or why are you pushing so hard, you know, there was like a subtle communication that let this thing go, don't touch this thing.
Okay, don't touch this thing.
Yeah.
I want us to...
And you know, for me, okay, you want to...
I want us to listen to something
Okay.
that is in relation to this particular issue of the labor migration. And I believe that is the Cabinet Secretary for Labor, Alfred Mutua, of course, be appearing before the committee of the Senate to just talk about this issue. Let's listen to this.
Senator Orwoba has been playing the role of a recruitment agent without any valid registration. She printed posters and purported to be providing jobs for many innocent youths without the ability or legal standing to do so. Please find attached, there's a poster, it's been given to the Speaker, and voice recordings by the Senator proving that she has been a fake agent. We wish to share with the Senate that all this is a fabrication to mislead the Senate and Kenyans in order to gain popularity and political mileage. Number 4, her claim that 89 people had been conned of their money is also false. Senator Gloria Orwoba has also been threatening employment agencies and extorting them to employ people for political gain and political interest in Bobasi constituency. We have also attached a list of 600 names she gave to one agency demanding for non-existent jobs. Number 8, Senator Gloria Orwoba also threatened me when I told her to stop harassing my officers. She told me that she will deal with me by teaching me a lesson. She also added, and I quote, "Kasongo is going down and I will not go down with him," referring to His Excellency the President. Number 9, in direct contravention of the Constitution and the Leadership and Integrity Act of 2012, she has been telling untruths, misleading the public, creating anxiety, bullying, and spreading propaganda when she does not get her way. And according to the law, this should render her unfit to serve as a state officer.
We just listened to what the Cabinet Secretary for Labor did have to say about you. He called you a bully, and of course said that you are a rogue agent to some extent, using, you know, trying to extort money from individuals that are seeking job opportunities.
So, you know, what is so funny is that if I was crass, if I was unpolished, I would share with you our internal WhatsApp messages in our group, the Kenya Kwanza Alliance group, where we are being encouraged to partner with the National Employment Authority so that we can take government programs to the grassroots. I had a call with the Director General of the National Employment Authority because I had already received a lot of complaints, and I told her, this program of diaspora jobs is not working, and I want to bring a statement at the floor of the House so that we can start investigating it. And she begged me not to do it. And she told me, we have a current program where we are partnering with members of parliament. The posters, if the posters that he wanted to now display, actually have the National Employment Authority as the recruiting agency. It is in the posters, it is in the videos. There were advertisements which were approved by government through the National Employment Authority that is under the Ministry of Labor, which this man, I call a con man, sits in.
So you are not
and
acting as an agent?
These posters were even posted within our group so that people could be encouraged to go and partner. Can I tell you how funny it is? Groups of people from different parts of the country, groups of legislators. You normally see the president calling like the group of Kisii legislators, groups of... He called the Samburu legislators and asked them, the president asked them, why are you not bringing government programs to the grassroots? Look at what Senator Orwoba is doing. Go to her page, call the Director General of National Employment and partner with them. In that same sitting, the Director General of the National Employment was asked on record, do you have any kind of partnership with Senator Orwoba where you are assisting to recruit people so that they can be put in the government program? And the Director General, who had been told to lie, refused. She said, we have a partnership. National Employment Authority has a partnership with Gloria, and she's not the only member of parliament. She has a partnership with various members of parliament. And it is the model that is being used.
So what sort of
partnership?
How does this partnership look like?
The partnership works like this. There is a gap because the National Employment Authority only puts the jobs on the website. I questioned that and said, a person in Mashinani, some of them don't even have a gadget to go online. Okay. Those who have gadgets sometimes don't have the capacity to be able to go online. So what you have done, I said you have discriminated people who are eligible for these jobs, who are qualified, drivers, manual laborers, plumbers, all these construction workers. You have just discriminated them and told the ones in Nairobi who can go online to go online and get those jobs. So the partnerships between leaders was to ensure that the government program is taken to the grassroots. And let me tell you something. I was not bringing my relatives there. There was a minimum qualification. As a driver, a certain number of years of experience, a valid driving license, clearance certificates in ABCD, manual laborers had, and we were in the grassroots with the National Employment Authority, all their agents, recruiting. Nice. And by the way, a recruiter who was part of this program in that same sitting also sat there and said, yes, I recruited for her 38 drivers who he agreed. He took their money and they have not gone anywhere.
All right. One of the questions...
So, but do you understand this? It is, what I hate about is that we have people in government who can turn around and spin a story instead of just saying, we are conning Kenyans and let's clean it up.
So you say we are conning, who exactly
government is, if you ask me, because instead of Alfred Mutua coming to tell us that these agents who got the job orders for these Kenyans, many of them who have not left the country, instead of him sitting down with them and asking them, why are you taking money from these people and you are not taking them abroad for the jobs? He is violently always making sure that they are not, the agents are okay, the agents are working, he's protecting them. I asked in the Senate committee, why is the Cabinet Secretary for Labor protecting rogue agents? The Cabinet Secretary... He never answered any questions, by the way, on that. He never answered any of the questions we asked. Yeah.
One of the things that he actually accused of is being a bully. Did you call him to threaten him? And
well, if demanding for accountability, yes, I did call him severally, and I have recorded all his calls. If he takes me there, I mean, we can go to the days of Sonko. Yeah? I'm telling you. Severally, he tried to take me round with his stories. Oh, you know, Senator, you're a good person. You know, Senator, we can work together. I want you to come to Maendeleo Chap as a party in 2027. And then I kept on telling, forget about all these things, Waziri. My people, they paid monies in September. We are going past 6 months. These people have not gone anywhere. I started demanding for answers. And he says, I'm a bully. Yes, if demanding for answers is being a bully, I'm a bully. At one point, I told him, you must refund the money. I demanded for a refund for these people, all the people. So if that is being a bully, by all means, then I am a bully.
The statement he said that Kasongo is going down and I'm not going down.
Anybody who knows me, first of all, I don't even use that word Kasongo. Yeah, anyone who knows me, I call my party leader boss.
All right.
Boss alisema. Boss says. So even that in itself, he should have done. You know, this guy is full of drama. Eh? He thinks everything is a stage. Yes, let's rain sensation. That day when he brought that letter, he was demanding the chair of the committee to shut down and not investigate him because now he has brought a letter saying I'm a con agent.
Gloria Orwoba, we will call you bold and very controversial to some extent.
Am I controversial?
That's debatable. But based on the statements that you've been able to make, because people say, looking at the social media platforms, even when you say that you were coming on set, some people were saying, okay, you should have toned down because you're a nominated senator. You owe allegiance to the party. Right now, we are looking at the UDA party having to expel you, but now there's a conservatory order actually stopping those particular actions.
Yes. So what was that supposed to do? It was supposed to silence me. It was supposed to tell me, listen, young girl, hujui siasa, now we have taken away your job or threatened to take away your job, but essentially they are taking away my job. I already knew that I had lost a job the moment I took the statement to the floor of the House. I told my colleagues, my desk mate, the Senator for Kirinyaga, I told him, my Senator, I'm on my last days, because I brought this statement about diaspora jobs, because this is wrong. What we are doing to Kenyans is wrong. What we are allowing as a government to do to Kenyans is wrong. I knew that they are good. In fact, you have said it in the committee. I said, I know you want to take away my job. Bring it on. Because I already knew that my fate is sealed. By choosing to fight that war of the diaspora jobs scam, I knew my fate is sealed. And, but really, you see, at one point, I was telling my majority leader when he was trying to ask me, why are you like this? Why do you, why do you raise a lot of questions? And why can't you just fold and follow? And I said, because I didn't come here for a salary. I didn't come here for trips. I didn't come here to look for boyfriends. Okay. I came here to be a change maker, and that's what I want to do.
Will you call yourself a reformer in the National Assembly, in the Senate, I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I will just say I'm me. I'm Gloria Orwoba. That's who I am. But let me tell you about this thing about being bold. She's arrogant. She's any woman who decides to be firm, assertive. Any woman who knows where they are going with their life is often called a bully, arrogant, and all those things.
Okay. It seems like your future when it comes to matters politics is hanging in the balance, whether you are in the UDA or you're actually decamping to a different party, because one of the reasons
No, I'm a member of United Democratic Alliance. Okay. I'm a member of UDA. I am specially elected under UDA. And the only thing is I have divergent opinions, because I have not changed who I am from before I was a senator and now. And let me tell you what's happening with this government, my government, our government, is that we have our president surrounded by boys. And these boys who are around him, every day they wake up with an agenda. For instance, and allow me, don't cut me short. They woke up and said, huyu mtu wa Murima lazima to deal na yeye. Huyu mtu wa Mirima, we must deal with him, we must remove him, we must impeach him. And you know when those boys come, they come with pressure. They come with pressure, eh? You know he has done this, yes, they make you the agenda. And everyone is suddenly being stopped from doing the work too. We have a current project, we must remove the guy, huyu mtu wa Mlima. Okay, fine. Some of us, we are small girls, we are new. Haya, tutoe huyu mtu wa Mlima, tumemtoa, right? These boys have made you an enemy of the Kikuyu community. Then you would think that we will put our heads down and we would work. Before you know it, the boys have come back. Mr. President, we must deal with this guy. We must deal with Natembeya. Natembeya must be harassed. We must make sure he doesn't go back to office. This Natembeya guy, he's this, he's that. When the boys come, remember they come with pressure because these are boys. And the president, he succumbs. We are now dealing with Natembeya. Before you even finish dealing with Natembeya, they have come with another agenda. They are forgetting all these things. Now, kuna huyu mama kwa na mdomo. Huyu mama nakwambia, boss, wacha mimi nitadili na yeye. We will follow the processes. If we are the ones who impeached Gachagua, a nominated senator hata tushinda, usituambie about president. Boss, let's deal. Pressure. The boss has dealt with mtu wa Murima, they have made him an enemy of Kikuyu. He has dealt with Natembeya, he's still dealing with Natembeya, they are making him an enemy of the Luyas. He has now come to Senator Orwoba, young, nominated, useless girl with no votes at all. They are now dealing with her, they have made him enemy of the Abagusi. Before he could even lift his head like this Ma community, they wako na interest hapo wame grab land, they have made him the enemy of the Ma community. Wait, let me tell you, they are not done. The impeachment of Kawera, the boys were running up and down, like agents, brokers, collecting money from who to what.
Who are these boys?
Governor Kawera is gone. You have made the president an enemy of the women, of the male people.
So it is the people surrounding the president.
Let me ask you, as a person who is sitting back and watching, now me, right? You are seeing a pattern of these boys around, pushing agenda with selfish interest. At the end of the day, you are telling us that we must remain focused, we have to deliver to the people. And we have to also deliver to the people so that we can get re-elected. Okay. You have been made an enemy to the Kikuyu community, an enemy to the Luhya community, an enemy to the Kisii community, an enemy to the Ma community, an enemy to some of the Kalenjin communities who they're having their infights, an enemy to women, an enemy to the youth. Remember, we had Gen Zs, and only after Gen Zs, because our president, unfortunately, they had put a history, narrative on him hating the Luos. Only after the Gen Zs, we had the handshake with Raila. Okay. Now, you know, you are enemies. The Kambas, you've been enemies. Where are you going to get your votes for re-elections? Because every constituency of people aside from the tribe, you go to the youth, they have made you an enemy of the Gen Z. You go to the women, the femicide and everything that's happening, they have made you an enemy of the women. You go to the workers. Okay. The workers. Wait, Brian. You go to the workers. We were trying to tell you in State House, do not invade these pay slips. We go to State House. Those of us who want to talk, we raise our hands, we talk. They look at us, they send us things. They invaded the pay slips. We said it's okay to invade the pay slips, but we have to be able to explain what we are doing. No, the boys, because they are now they are the ones running the call center of SHAs. They are the ones who are benefiting from the business around SHA. Let me tell you something. By the time these boys will be done, Mr. President, my president, they have made you the enemy of the people. Okay. And they don't care about your re-election. All right. And they don't care about this country. Okay. You've asked me who are these boys. Haven't you seen Osoro today in Kisii chest thumping? Na wacha niongee kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kwa sababu ameongea kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kule. Akisema ya kuwa unajua huyu mtu Gachagua ametufanya hivi, anakuja kutuambia nini maneno ya Christmas, yeye anatuambia nini chest thumping. Ati hata angeweza kupata ma MP watano wa kumwekea kura, ati huyu mtu hata ana watu wanawafuata. Huyu mtu wacha usiseme ana watu wanawafuata. Okay. Nyinyi mumekalia wale wajumbe wa Kenya Kwanza mpaka wameingiza baridi. Wamenyamaza ma wameweka kichwa chini kwa sababu hawataki vita, kwa sababu wale wajumbe wanasimamia constituency zao, na sahizi si wakati wa kupigana na nyinyi. Wale wajumbe wakiamka kwa mlango, watu wamepanga line hivi wanataka kusaidika kwa sababu SHA haifanyi kazi, wako na maharambe. Wale wajumbe wataki vita. Na kuambia hivi, Osoro amesimama Kisii akasema sisi tuko sawa, tuko imara, amejipiga kifua. Hiyo ndio kifua Osoro na hao vijana walipiga. Sisi tukijaribu kuambia president wetu, hii finance bill, wacha turekebishe hivi, wacha turekebishe vile, lakini tukaambiwa status tunyamaze, hiki tutapita. Wakina Osoro wakijipiga kifua akisema tuko na numbers. Na nakwambia ile siku Gen Z walifika bunge. Mimi nilikuwa mjamzito. Ile siku walifika. Hao vijana wote wako na bunduki. Okay. Waliweza kujikinga na mabunduki zao. Wakatuacha sisi pale tuanze kuambia wa Kenya nini inafanyika. Unaelewa? And Brian, yes. You know why I had to break in Swahili? Because I want to say this. I want to say this, and allow me to say this. Our programs had the interest of Kenyans. But these boys have their own selfish interests, and any opportunity to make money, any opportunity to be the center of the action, they will grab it, and they don't care about the program. That is what has happened to SHA. That is what has happened to affordable housing. That is what has happened to diaspora labor export jobs. That is what has happened to fertilizer. All our programs have been infiltrated by these boys, in the interests of making money, and they don't care about the president, and they don't care about this country. Okay.
You've spoken passionately about the issue to do with the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And in the interest of time, I wanted to play a clip, but we might not play that because of what happened in the Senate during the impeachment. You actually got to impeach him. Are you?
Yes, I did.
When you look back, do you regret that particular decision, or what exactly?
I do. I regret it. I regret it. However, even in my impeachment, you can see that when I was impeaching, I was one of the people saying, hey guys, you bring 11 counts and you can't substantiate any of, even 9. It is in my speech of the impeachment. And in fact, I said the only thing that has been substantiated in all the 11 counts is the fact that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua had, let's say, a movement coming from his community, that was misinterpreted by the Kenyans.
Okay.
And the Usiguze Mulima I was one of the people who misinterpreted it.
Okay.
And it instilled some level of fear and divisiveness.
Right.
And I did say on that one count, which was substantiated, in fact, it was the only count that was substantiated. On that count, I impeached him. And I can tell you this, I've been watching, because I live in this country. I've been watching what has been happening. And that same Rigathi Gachagua, despite starting off at a point of what was perceived as divisive politics, has actually become the person that has united Kenyans.
Okay.
If you look at the group of people surrounding him, I think he sort of got a lesson or two. And now the people surrounding him, he is the face of Kenya.
Will you be joining him?
Will I be joining who?
Gachagua, in terms of in his mission to unite everyone. His party has actually
let me tell you what I will do.
Let
me tell you what I will do, right? I will join a movement that has the interest of Kenyans, that has the interest of women in this country, but not only the interest, that has the people that I can trust.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, I trust my party leader. I don't trust the boys around him.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the boys around him are running some shows.
All right. Senator Gloria Orwoba, with this, what is happening to you? Some people are asking, what's next for Gloria Orwoba? What is your next step?
Oh, as it stands, I'm a sitting nominated member of parliament, so my work is oversight, is legislation and representing the people. I am going to continue doing my oversight. It is my oversight that has costed me my job, but it is also my oversight that has given many Kenyans and many youth the hope that somebody can say this is wrong, I'm going to speak up. So I will continue with my oversight. I have my eye on the ball on getting elected so that these intimidation tactics of specially elected and nominated cannot be used to bar me from representing my people. And I will tell you this, I am going to shake that space that they think women cannot shake. Together with all these fierce women who are coming up, the Wamushombas, you know, we are going to shake that space. The Gasheri, the Kirinyaga women rep, you know.
So you're going for which constituency?
I have declared that I'm going to vie for the member of parliament of Bobasi constituency, but even now, with my declaration in Bobasi constituency, my people are waiting for me. They're saying, come, we are planning a lot of things. I am also getting a lot of pressure.
You are ready for
I'm also
this?
getting a lot of pressure because of my work in Nairobi to vie as a woman representative of Nairobi County. And you know what?
So between Bobasi and Nairobi, which one would you go for?
Let me tell you something, Brian. Even if I'm told at one point, with the bigger movement that is going to come in, because you see now we have a broad base, it's a bigger movement. With the bigger movement, whichever it is that is going to come in 2027, if they tell me, Senator, we don't even want you to vie, or we want you to vie, my only interest is, will I be able to pursue the programs under women empowerment that I'm passionate about? If there is space for me to pursue those programs of women empowerment, representation of our children and our youth, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter the position. For me, I remain very outspoken. I remain very sincere. Okay. And the president knows that we are maybe 6 of us, 7 maybe, who tell him the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 out of the entire?
I promise you. I don't want to mention their names, but we are very few of us who have the courage, who don't feel like we need to cheerlead all the time. There are very few of us who in a sitting will raise their hand and say, I feel we should do this. Why are women being killed? The issue of
Does the president listen to you when you raise your voice?
Yes, when I raise my voice, he listens. And then the boys, they come and they do their thing. Just as you have seen Osoro in Kisii. Because today I raised the issue of the IEBC.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
We are in the process of vetting IEBC. We have a registrar of political parties who are supposed to have resigned from her position and is waiting to be sworn in or vetted for IEBC. Yet, apparently, it is her office, which is supposed to be vacant, that was used to write a letter to the Senate, which was unprocedural because they never engaged me, to remove me from office. I'm waiting to hear from her that she either wrote the letter and on what grounds. But I was telling there was a tweet that I tweeted that was misunderstood today. When I said team one term, I said team one term, you know, It's not about the hashtags and the hate speech.
Right.
It's about strategy and consistency. What I really meant is, I love the movement, to be honest.
The one-term movement?
Yeah, because people
the one-term movement is about...
Osoro now is saying that Gachagua should not even say one-term,
okay.
that he's half-term. I am also potentially half-term.
All right.
But there's pride to be half-term if you are saying this is not good for Kenyans.
All right.
Yeah?
I
wanted to say this. I was trying to tell every other person out there, William Ruto is a contender that is not stupid. He's tough.
Okay.
And he has a good manifesto.
All right.
If you're going to defeat him, you can't just camp on Twitter. Team one term. Me, I love your movements, but work a strategy.
All right, thank you so much, Senator Gloria Orwoba, for your time in joining us tonight to try and shed light on issues that have been happening in the country as far as your political space is concerned. All right, we'll take a break here on Evening Edition. When we come back, and okay, it's not a break. Of course, we do want